Good evening, everybody. My name is Cleofus Grant, and I'm alcoholic. Um, so, first of all, my life is an incredible journey. So, 10 minutes is, I'm gonna try to compress it into 10 minutes. Drugs and alcohol have been a part of my life for forever. When I was 6 months old, uh, my grandmother was babysitting me, and she overdosed, and she died when I was in her arms. So when they found her, I was in her arms. So drugs at an early age really affected my life. Uh, when I was 3 years old, being curious, went in my auntie's purse, and I thought her pills was candy, and I overdosed off of chewing offs and red devils. Um, uh, so at the age of 6 months, well, at the age of after my grandmother overdosed, my mother never wanted to pick me up again, so she sent me to Oklahoma. She sent me to Oklahoma from the age of 6 months to I was almost 5. That's when I came back to California. But I'm born and raised in LA on the east side, the Avalon Gardens area. Um, and when growing up, the drug dealers were our heroes. So I was old enough to witness crack when it hit LA. When it hit LA, it hit us hard. You know what I'm saying? I had a mother who had a career job, but when crack hit the streets, man, it was like a hurricane. It just ruined houses, ruined families. Um, so at an early age, I went to live with my aunt, my mother's sister, and her husband, which was the, the dominant male figure in my life, was a heroin addict. And since I can remember, his theme was, "I do all drugs so I won't get addicted to one." That was that was his motto. So, um, growing up, gangs on our side of town, it was like it was it was a it was kind of like a rite of passage. We were brainwashed at early ages, um, and that would, from the age of 6, 7 years old, that's kind of been a story of my life, in and out of prison, stuff like that. But anyway, I'm the oldest of 8 children. Um, my mother was an addict. My daddy was an addict. Uh, But like at the age of 9, my uncle, while shooting heroin in his arm, told me never use drugs, and he told me that while he was instructing me how to cook crack cocaine. Um, he told me at the age of 9, like, one day you're gonna need to learn this. So I thought it was a lot of stuff that was not normal was normal to me. So um, I grew up with that kind of attitude. I was always a good student in school, because because my home life was kind of messed up. School was my refuge, so I always got good grades, all that stuff. Um, Around seventh grade, I started selling $4 bags of weed at school, and that was just to get lunch money because moms didn't have lunch money. And so after that, um, one of my older cousins that's no longer living, he owed me $20. So he gave me two rocks and said, go to the alley and sell this. And I sold it in 2 minutes, and bam, I fell in love from there. I was like, okay, this is something I want to do. So at a young age, I started selling, but not knowing, it wasn't right. That's just how I was raised. It was all hands on. So at the age of 15, um, I was convicted of murder and sentenced to 37 years of life. Um, um, I went to YA, did my time. I got out. I never was really like a drinker. I didn't start drinking till I was 27. So it started off like a beer here, and then it started, hey, on Friday, like, give me a drink. And then it slowly progressed to the point where when I bought a bottle of Hennessy, I didn't even put the top back on. It's just on and cracking. And I was a violent drunk. I was the type of person that when I start drinking, before I started drinking, I had 100 friends. But as soon as I started drinking, they said he gonna be tripping. So everybody in the projects leave. You know, say like he tripping. So I became progressively. It got worse and worse. So around like it didn't take long for alcohol to start damaging my body. So the doctor told me if I keep drinking, you know, I wouldn't even think about seeing grandchildren. So that you think that would make you slow down, but I just started drinking more. I had good jobs, along with hustling, but the more that I was in the streets, the more I began to start drinking more and more and more. And you know, I like to smoke weed, but you know, like the quote gang in our community, we call them gang drugs, like Sherm and PCP, powder cocaine, all that stuff. It wasn't really my thing, you know. But I drank enough alcohol for everybody. Um, so that being said, when I drank, I got violent. So 2000, 2003, I fought another life sentence. Um, Stayed in the county, beat that. Then fast forward to 2013, caught another murder case. Fought that, beat that. So that being said, alcohol made me a violent person, and I used to do a lot of damage to my community. Um, and I didn't realize that a lot of stuff that I was doing till I got to Fred Brown. Like um, I got attempted murder in 2015, and I was blessed again to only get 4 years. And so when I got out, I was supposed to go to some house in Pomona. So when he driving me, I said, "Man, where we going?" I said, "We going towards the beach." I'm like, "Where we going?" They said, "You going to San Pedro?" So I get to Fred Brown and Vic there. Vic and John, and they give me the rundown of the program. I said, "Oh no, man, I can't do this. You know, I'm not a dope fiend. I'm not an addict. Just not knowing that I'm the same as the addict. You know what I'm saying? I was doing probably more damage to my body than the average addict. You know." So I get to Fred Brown, so I instantly call my PO. I'm like, "Man, you set me up, man. Like, this is a lot." I said, "Man, you set me on accident." He said, "Give me 2 weeks." He said, "Give me 2 weeks, and I get you out of there." This is damn 3 months ago. so, but that being said, man, since I've been in Fred Brown, man, it's been like a transformation in my life. You know, I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning my character defects. I'm learning what was the root to all my anger and all my killing life. I want to thank Sean. Sean's been real good to me. You know, he was one of the first to open up to me about his struggles, so that helped me open up my minds. Jim, John, especially Louis too, Vic, you know, the whole crew on 19th Street, especially the fellas. You know, they like family. I want to stress that Jim may be a hard ass, but he cared. And it's just like, I just, if my family could see me now in my state of mind and the way I changed, like, you know, all the losses that I took in the streets and all that stuff is coming out through Fred Brown. You know, they working miracles on 19th Street. Um, so wrap it up to say, you know, I want to thank all of Fred Brown. I got partners on 14th Street, RBH. You know, we like a family, man. We all, when we in this room, um, we all healing. So I want to thank y'all for letting me speak. My story's not over. I still got a journey.
That's true.
And y'all have a good rest of the night. And God bless y'all. Thank you.